On the 2nd of November 2021, the British Parliament debated the UK's listing of the PKK as a terrorist organisation. Among British politicians, Labour MP Lloyd Russell Moyle was leading the support of terrorism.
The PKK is listed as a terrorist organisation at the behest of the Turkish government without further checks and safeguards. The system to list terrorist organisation is archaic.
The PKK terror group began to organise in Europe after 1980. Immediately afterwards, it accelerated its activities. In order to understand the structure of the PKK in the UK, let's briefly touch upon the organisation's history in the UK. By the 1980s, Europe was subjected to an influx of political refugees of Kurdish origin due to the impact of the Iran-Iraq war. The Kurds of Iraq mostly headed for the UK, while the Kurds of Turkey chose Germany, while the Kurds of Iran chose France as the last stop on their route. Sweden, on the other hand, has become the ultimate route for nationalist Kurds due to the magazines Kurmanji and Sorani, published by the current Kurdish diaspora. The terror group PKK both hierarchically and horizontally started to organise in various regions of the UK in the mid-1980s.
The United Kingdom is our ally in the fight against terrorism, and the PKK terrorist organization is on the UK's terror list. However, there has been some increase in the PKK's actions in recent times. We have requests for extradition and freezing of assets.
At a time when security, sovereignty and self-determination are under threat, the United Kingdom's long-standing alliance with Turkey is more important than ever. We are the two largest European contributors to NATO, and we're deepening our economic relationship.
The human and financial resources of this structure were formed by a part of the Turkish citizens with Kurdish origin who came to the UK from the southeastern Anatolia region during the same periods. Migrations with this political character played an important role in the European structuring of the PKK in the future. The migration wave served both as an ideological seed and formed the cadre movements of the social and organisational base. Over time, the PKK suppressed other Kurdish organisations in the UK and tried to unite the Kurds under a single structure through pressure. For this purpose, both city councils and youth organisations, as well as NGOs and media organisations, played an active role. It seems that almost all of the deputies of Kurdish origin who are directly affiliated with the PKK in countries such as France, Great Britain, Sweden, have played a facilitating role in moving these associations into the political arena.
That's a pity. If US and British or any other country around the world ally with the terrorists. So we hope that they do have a misunderstanding of who they are. Otherwise, we don't want to consider that any country who ally with us are the allies of terrorists.
The PKK is considered a terrorist organisation by many institutions and states, especially the United Nations and the European Union. In order to overcome this barrier in the countries where it is organised, the PKK continues its activities under the name of NGO structuring. As in many European countries, the PKK has offices in the UK with the status of a front association. In the context of the political lobbying activities of the PKK, some names attract attention in terms of their pro-organisation positions. It is known that the people who are affiliated to the PKK are close to the Labour Party and the trade unions that are closely related to this party. Jeremy Corbyn was one of the most notable figures with his statements and the organisations he supports. In 2016, the British press suggested that the PKK has links to lobbying organisations in the UK. According to The Times, Corbyn and some Labour Party members have close ties to the PKK terrorist organisation, which killed 44 people in Istanbul in 2016, and its lobby in the UK. Corbyn and Kate Osamor were the leaders of the PKK-linked Peace in Kurdistan campaign platform. As in the whole of Europe, the PKK organises street demonstrations throughout the UK. Some of the demonstrations are being held in front of the Turkish missions, and some are being held in the city squares. It is seen that some demonstrations were held to sabotage meetings and organisations of Turkish citizens. After Germany and France, the UK is the third country with the most shows in Europe. More than 50 shows have been held in the last 2 years. The relationship between the PKK and the media throughout Europe is of great importance in terms of the organisation's propaganda. The media has a functional importance in terms of delivering terrorist propaganda to a wide audience and exerting an impact on public opinion. PKK TV started its broadcasting activities in 1995 with Med TV, which was established in London. Headquartered in London, the channel also has studios in Belgium. In 1996, as a result of intense pressure from Türkiye, a police operation was conducted at the Belgian office of Med TV, and the channel's documents were confiscated for review. After the capture of Abdullah Öcalan in 1999, Türkiye made an official application to the United Kingdom for the closure of this channel broadcasting via satellite. Med TV's broadcasting licence has been revoked by the British authorities. Med TV then carried its broadcasts from Belgium via the French satellite. The terrorist organisation PKK has 8 media outlets in the UK. This figure is high compared to other countries and is of key importance. The role of the media is vital, especially in delivering false news about Türkiye to the masses and conveying the terrorist activities carried out by the organisation against Türkiye in exaggerated language. The UK added the PKK to its terror list in 2001, describing it as primarily a separatist movement that seeks an independent Kurdish state in southeast Türkiye. The PKK is also listed in the United States, the European Union, as well as Türkiye. Intelligence reports estimate that the current budget of the PKK is over $50 billion, with the main sources of income being drug trafficking and money laundering. The flow of proceeds are then used for purchasing firearms, munitions, and other equipment used by the terrorists. The PKK's income gained solely from the drug trade throughout the 1990s was between $300 million and $500 million. Yet in recent years, these numbers have increased up to $1.5 billion annually. The UK should once again review journalists who are sympathisers with the terrorist organisation, the PKK, broadcasting organisations and politicians of the enemy of Türkiye. Decisively, the PKK's potential to commit violent acts across Europe should not be underestimated. The UK should abandon its vague tolerance policy, which it objects to with puny voices about the PKK, and reclaim civilian areas that have been handed over to the terrorist organisation.
Devasa ülkelerin liderleri bu teröristlerin başlarını yanlarına alıyorlar. Onlarla masaya oturuyorlar. Onlarla bu sorunu çözmeye çalışıyorlar. Bu ne menemiştir ya? Böyle şey olabilir mi?